The old Victorian house stood shrouded in the silence of a fading summer evening. Its brick facade, weathered and worn, was a familiar sight to Daniel. He'd lived in this house his entire life. Every creak of the floorboards, every sigh of the wind through the attic vents was a whispered secret from the past. Daniel was a creature of habit. Every evening, after returning from his job at the library, he would follow the same routine. He'd place his keys on the antique hook by the door, a gift from his grandmother who once called this house her own. Then he would walk into the kitchen, the scent of musty books clinging to his woolen coat, and pour himself a cup of tea. Tonight, however, something felt different. The air hung heavy, thick with a strange energy that made the hairs on the back of his neck stand on end. Shadows seemed to stretch longer, deeper into the corners of the room, as if reaching out from the walls themselves. He tried to shake off the unsettling feeling. He told himself it was just his imagination, the product of a long day and an overactive mind. But deep down, a primal instinct whispered a warning. Something wasn't right. The antique grandfather clock in the hallway chimed 8 times, its resonant tones echoing through the silent house. Daniel, engrossed in a first edition of Edgar Allan Poe's short stories, barely registered the sound. He loved old books, their scent, their texture, the way they could transport him to another time and place. A floorboard creaked upstairs. Daniel slowly lifted his head, his gaze drawn towards the hallway leading to the second floor. The house was old, prone to settling and groaning, but this sound was different. It was sharper, closer. He listened intently, his heart pounding in his chest. Silence. He convinced himself it was just the wind rattling the old window panes in the attic. Still, a shiver ran down his spine. He decided to make another cup of tea, hoping to soothe his nerves. As he walked past the antique mirror hanging in the hallway, he paused. His reflection stared back at him, his face pale and drawn in the dim light. Daniel's breath hitched. For a fleeting moment, he could have sworn his reflection moved, its head tilting at an unnatural angle while his remained still. He blinked, his heart racing, but the image in the mirror returned to normal.